What's up, Michigan fans? Welcome back to the Maize and Bluebeard podcast, where we talk all things Michigan football and basketball and all other sports because we love all of our Michigan Wolverines. I'm Chris. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. As always, you can see here what we're going to get into. We're going to talk some quarterback buzz. There's a quarterback making some noise for Michigan, and it might not be one that you expect. We're also going to take a look at Michigan basketball and talk about LJ Cason, his injury. A lot of people getting freaked out, feeling down about it, feeling like it's over. There's nothing they can do. I've got two things to tell you that might make you feel a little bit better. We're also going to update you on some recruiting and, of course, reveal the questions of the day from yesterday when I asked who needs to step up with LJ Cason out for the season. All that and more on this episode of the Maize and Bluebeard podcast. Let's go blue, and let's get into it. Alan True from Rivals and On3 recently put out an article talking about QB buzz from Michigan and a quarterback that was impressing the Michigan coaching staff. And it wasn't Bryce Underwood. It was not Colin Hurley. It wasn't Braden Fowler Nicolosi. No. It was Tommy Carr, the incoming 4-star quarterback recruit from Saline, right here from Michigan. Of course, legacy get from Michigan. His grandfather, the legendary Lloyd Carr, great coach at Michigan. And Tommy Carr is impressing. Of course, we all are excited about him. It's cool to have a Carr on there, but also he was really good in high school. I actually got to see him with my own 2 eyes live, and he is very good. He can run, he can throw, he's mobile, he's smart, he can make the throws. He is a fun prospect for Michigan to have in that quarterback room. But let me tell you some of the things that they heard when they wrote this article. So they were praising his maturity and his approach, and they said it wasn't surprising because he is a Carr. The Michigan staff, of course, is not the staff that recruited him. They inherited him in the recruiting class, but they were able to keep him as part of that class. And so far, so good. They're very happy with him and that he's on the roster. They said that he's diligent, mentally prepared, and he's making a big first impression, not only on staff, but on his teammates as well. So ongoing work going forward. So going forward, they're working on putting on some weight on him, getting him stronger, and just continuing to work with him so he can continue to grow. But they've been very impressed, and he's making big strides already with Michigan staff. So just another fun thing to think about with this quarterback room, how far we've come from 2 years ago to now. Now you've got a solid 3 for sure going in with Bryce Underwood, Braden Fowler Nicolosi, and Colin Hurley. But now you look at some of these stud recruits coming in, Tommy Carr, Brady Schmiegel, and more to come. So get excited, because I am. Tommy Carr, keep an eye out. Going into the Illinois game, Michigan was riding high, had a great chance to win the Big Ten championship outright for the regular season, and of course they got the job done, won the championship, but they lost a very important player, and that was LJ Cason, tore his ACL. We talked about it already, out for the season. Terrible news, but he's going to be there with his energy, with his positivity, cheering on the team, but he will not be able to be on the court. So there's been a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of fans saying it's over, we were so close, it's going to mess up the rest of the season. And is it going to be easy? No. But a couple of things I want to talk about to make you feel a little bit better as we wait for Michigan to get back in action at Iowa on Thursday. First, going into the Illinois game, Michigan was the betting favorite to win the national championship. They were the clear favorite, top favorite. After the LJ Cason injury, the new betting odds came out. Guess who's the clear number 1 favorite to win the national championship? Michigan. Michigan is still the favorite in the eyes of the betting conglomerate. So if they think Michigan can still get it done, we have to support our team and think the same, because they've still got all that talent. They still love each other, and they're going to want to be galvanized and want to be winning this for LJ Cason now, and he's going to be right there cheering them along. So, but I get what you're saying. You probably are saying, but they don't know the team like we do. They don't watch it like we do. They don't understand the impact that LJ Cason made on the court, and how are they going to replace that? So here's the other part that I would think will make you feel microscopically bigger for some, or better. Here's the other part that will make some of you feel microscopically better, but some of you maybe a lot better. All right. So I talked about ways that Michigan can replace LJ Cason's impact, right? We said Elliot Cadeau, he's going to have to probably play a little bit more minutes, not the whole game, but he's going to have to play a little more, and he's going to have to be steady and, you know, play like he has been playing lately and not take a dip back towards some of his problems earlier in the year. That's one. Two, we need Roddy Gale Jr. to score some more points. Now, he can handle the ball sometimes, but he does have not always have the best playmaking, or he has playmaking abilities, but he doesn't always have the best decision-making abilities. He can be a little turnover prone, so that's not a great solution, but I do think he needs to step up and not just bring that energy and defensive prowess, but score some more points to replace the points from LJ Cason. And Will Cheddar also needs to start doing more than hit 1-3 a game or something like that. We need him to return to form and put up some points as well. But what about handling the ball, right? Yeah, Lindenborg can handle it sometimes when Cadeau's out. We know that. But I said Trey McKinney needs to step up. And yes, he plays shooting guard. He's aggressive. He can get to the rim. He can score. But did you know that coming out of high school, he was a combo guard? Not just a shooting guard, not just a scoring guard, but a combo guard, because he can run the point when he needs to. And he did have a consistent amount of assists throughout his high school career. He was a scorer, no doubt. But if Cadeau's out, he can run the point sometimes. Let me tell you what his recruiting profile said when he was in high school and when he was coming into the league. Just listen up, okay? All right, it's talking about how he plays with an aggressive scoring mentality, has an advanced understanding of how to leverage his body type within his attack, powerful, physical, crafty, great left hand, very adept at scoring over the top of contesting defenders in the mid-range area. We know that, right? We know that. But here we go. He's actually an underrated initiator when he's allowed to play with the ball in his hand. It also talked about how he has some instinctive feel for the game. But that was the part I wanted to focus on, is he is an underrated initiator. That's what they're saying out of high school. Now, he hasn't had to do that here. So I think he can step in at times. There'll still be times where he gets to be shooting guard. But when we need someone to handle the point, it doesn't always just have to be Elliot Cadeau or Yaxel. He can do it sometimes. He can. So I think that makes me feel a little better. I dug in a little bit. He didn't have like 12 assists a game or something, but he consistently averaged 3 to 4 assists a game. So I think that he could be a perfectly fine stand-in when Cadeau needs a breather and we want Yaxel off the ball. But we'll see what Dusty May cooks up. But the betting conglomerate thinks Michigan's still the favorite. That has not changed. And we have some options to cover LJ Cason's scoring and ball handling abilities. Is it perfect? No. But trust Dusty May, trust this team. We're still going to go on a magical run. I have no doubt. So who's with me? Go Blue! Now back to football, and we're going to update you on some recruiting news. Just got a few things to tell you about that I'm excited about. So one, a linebacker that I've been excited about that Michigan has been courting is another player from Mount Carmel in Chicago who has a lot of players that we really want to get. But it is Roman Igwebuike, a stud linebacker that I really hope Michigan can get. And he announced that he's going to be coming to Michigan on March 28th, which is awesome. His recruitment's still open. And Michigan is someone that he likes, but there's a lot of teams interested, so we'll see. But it's exciting to know he is coming at the end of March. Another player that's going to be coming at the same time as Igwebuike is another player I'm excited about. I've talked a lot about Lapati, how I really want Michigan to get him for a QB next year. But Kyle Whittingham usually takes 2 QBs per recruiting class, and there's another QB that I like. He's kind of my 1B behind Lapati, and that is Dane Weber. Uh, he is the number 20 quarterback overall. I've talked about him before, but he is coming on March 24th as well. He's also bringing his mom, which I feel like is a good sign. He's bringing family. He wants her to check it out so she feels safe sending her boy off to college. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I really hope he gets him too. Of course, he's got a great relationship with the coaching staff that dates back as well. So keep an eye out for that one. And finally, something really cool that I just think is awesome. I had to share it was that I didn't even realize this until I saw it when I was digging through recruiting stuff, and I'm like, what? Get the flip out of here! And that is that Michigan is going after. We know they're going after Charles Woodson Jr. for 2028, right? Well, we know that Michigan is going after Charles Woodson Jr., but they're also going after another former player's son. They're going after defensive back Marquise Ray, who's the son of Michigan legend Marcus Ray, which is pretty awesome. And he was Marquise, his son, was at the Sound Mind Body Camp, and they caught up on, or the Wolverine on 3. They caught up with Marcus Ray because he was there, and they were talking to him, and he was just talking about how he's excited that Michigan is recruiting them, and that Marcus has known Tyler Stockton, the safety coach, for a long time since his time at Ball State, because Marcus Ray does a lot with the MAC and announcing games and stuff. But anyway, Marquise Ray is coming to Michigan on March 17th, and Marcus Ray had talked about how he talks to Charles Woodson about how cool it would be if their sons were playing cornerback together for Michigan someday. Come on, how sweet would that be? Those two on the sidelines together watching their sons playing on defense like they did back in the day. Pinch me. That's a dream I would not want to wake up from. So hopefully that happens. Now it's time to update you on some other Michigan sports because we love all our Michigan teams. I'm going to update you on how the weekend ended up for baseball and softball. Baseball first, they were able to win Saturday night after a tough loss Friday. They won Saturday night 9-0 at San Diego. Could they win Sunday and win their first series of the year? Because they've just played one-offs up until this is their first 3-game series, and get 2 games above 500. Yes, they could. Michigan is victorious, 9-2 over San Diego. They moved to 6-4 on the year. They had a great. The bullpen did a great job holding up. Let's see. Colby Turner had 3 hits and scored 3 times. The bullpen combined for 5 scoreless innings and had allowed just 1 hit and had 6 strikeouts. Carson Luna doubled twice and scored twice. So just a great game overall for Michigan. Great series. An awesome 2 games in a row. They scored 9 runs. That's a good sign as this team has been able to score but hasn't been able to get those big hits when they needed them. So scoring 9 runs 2 days in a row and only giving up 2 runs. The pitching is coming around too. I think this team could be fun to watch this year. So they won the series. They will be back in action again next weekend. Oh, it's actually no Tuesday. They'll be back in action on Tuesday night, March 3rd. They're going to be playing California State Northridge at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so 10 p.m. our Eastern time, and it'll be on ESPN Plus. So there you go. If you have that, check out some baseball late Tuesday night. I know I will. Michigan softball had a doubleheader to wrap up the weekend. They played Villanova and then Virginia, which was the same as Friday, and unfortunately had the same results. Michigan beat Villanova, who's 2-17, not a great team. They were able to beat them 9-2, but then in the second game they fell to Virginia, just like on Friday, 5-4 in a really close game. So Virginia is off to a 19-1 start. Michigan's 15-5. Michigan's very good, but Virginia may be a team that they have to figure out how to beat come tournament time at the end of the season because they are a really good team. But so is Michigan. So they had a great weekend series. They still went 3-2 over the 5 games they played. They'll be back in action. They'll be back in action on Tuesday as well. They play Liberty in Virginia at 5 p.m. and then they'll be playing on Wednesday at James Madison at 4 p.m. And those games are also on ESPN Plus. So a lot of baseball and softball you can check in the middle of the week as we're waiting for the basketball team to get back in action to see what they're going to look like without LJ Cason. So big week for Michigan sports. Now it's time for the question of the day results. Remember, I ask a question of the day every day. So if you haven't voted on today's question, head on over to my community tab after this video and vote. Go now. Not now. Go after the video. So yesterday, with everything going on with LJ Cason's injury, I asked, which player do you think needs to step up the most in LJ Cason's absence for Michigan to go on a run? You could pick from Elliot Cadeau, Trey McKinney, Roddy Gale Jr., or somebody else that I didn't mention. Results are in, and here they are. As you can see here, the winner by a long shot was Trey McKinney, which, if you watched the video earlier, I talked about how you could take hold of some hope that Trey McKinney is not just a pure shooting, scoring guard. He was a combo guard in high school, which means he could handle the rock. And in his scouting profile, remember it said he was an underrated initiator. So he'll be able to step in a little bit. And I think with the rest of what we have going on, Dusty May's going to make it work. We will see against Iowa on Thursday, but remember, we're still the favorites. But I would agree. I think McKinney he's going to have to play more minutes than he's been used to, and he's going to have to expand his role. And I think he can handle it. He's a stud player, and I think that he can handle it. He doesn't have to become the starter. He just has to, do a little more, play a little more minutes, and I think he'll be up to the task. And I also think that Roddy Gale Jr. and Cheddar, as veterans, will step up and do what they can do to add some more points to our point totals for every game. And I think Cadeau and Yaxel in the starting lineup will do what they have to do to cover the hole that is left by LJ Cason. But I think this team can do it, and this coaching staff. So we as fans got to do our part and cheer them on and give the good vibes. So thanks for voting, everybody. Remember, I put a question of the day out every day. So if you didn't vote today, go vote now. That's going to do it for this episode of the Amazing Bluebeard Podcast. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I appreciate you taking the time to do so, especially on a Monday after the weekend. I know how that goes, so thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed and you're having fun, do so now. It'll get us one closer to me dyeing my beard maize and blue and celebrating 1,000 subs with all of you. But that's going to do it. So have a fantastic Monday. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, as always, go blue.